Hello seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. What is going to happen in July? July will see a very remarkable transit of Jupiter back to the sign of Sagittarius. Jupiter was debilitated. Right now it is debilitated in Capricorn. It will soon move to Sagittarius. Although retrograde, it will continuously enter the sign of his own domain and it will meet Ketu there. Not only that, Mercury, which is retrograde, will end its retrogression on 12th of July and will continue in the sign of Gemini for the upcoming days until the end of July. Also, Sun will make a regular yearly annual transit to the sign of Cancer somewhere in between in the mid of July, and on top of that, Venus, which went from retrograde to direct on 25th of June, will continue to remain in the sign of Taurus and will reach to the end of Taurus around 28 degrees in the end of July. Coming to Mars, Mars is going to see a steady move in the sign of Pisces. But by the end of July, Mars will also reach a definite position in the Revati Nakshatra, where Mars will be completely transforming and Martian energy will be completely devoted and it will be full of bhakti. What all these energies in combination will give a result to our life? Let us try to find it out, but before that, do not forget to hit like, subscribe and share and hit the bell icon, because that's what keeps you and me connected. So guys, subscribe, stay connected. July will see a very important move of Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius. This retrograde movement of Jupiter in Sagittarius is the re-establishment of Guru, and Jupiter, when it went into debilitation, I said in my previous video, this Jupiter is like a teacher who is going for a certain refreshment course to learn something, to identify something. This Jupiter went in the sign of Capricorn to work with Saturn. After all the learning, after all the wisdom, and after all the key areas to address, key points to remember, with all the notes, Jupiter is now back in his own domain of Sagittarius, and this time he encounters Ketu. Remember friends, in the last time, in the month of November last year, when Jupiter entered the sign of Sagittarius, he was entering from behind, from Scorpio. When the Jupiter entered with a regular movement from Scorpio to Sagittarius, he encountered Ketu in front of him, approaching him. So at that time, Jupiter was going head on with Ketu. And now what is happening? Now Ketu is running away from Jupiter, because Ketu is already at very close degrees to the sign of Scorpio, and Jupiter is entering from the other end of the zodiac sign. That means towards the end of Sagittarius. So this is where the reversal of events happens. This is where the reversal of whatever was started in November and December may see some amount of sudden energy spike, and then the dampening of energy begins once Jupiter enters the sign of Sagittarius. What it will do in our life, it means that whatever we have learned, a lot of learning was given to us in this brief moment, this brief span of time of the lockdown and all the situation that we are in. The kind of learning that we have been offered, this is the time when Jupiter will try to execute it. If Ketu is the gap, this means gaps are becoming away, the gaps are going away. So Jupiter will fill in the gaps. This will be in your personal life, this can be in your professional life, this can be in any sphere of your life. The gaps will be filled. This Jupiter is actually very much beneficial to us. Now you have to see the Jupiter's movement clubbed with other planetary position also. Jupiter Ketu in the sign of Sagittarius will see Mars placed in the sign of Jupiter. and Mars is going slowly towards the Gandanta point. The entire month Mars will see its movement in the sign of Pisces. When Mars is in the sign of Pisces, Mars is fourth from Jupiter. So Jupiter will gain a lot of positive strength from this Mars. And not only that, Sun after some time, that means around mid of July, will also move out from the clutches of Rahu and go into a water sign again. Now see this, Sun and Mars both will be in a water sign and they will be entwined to each other. If you see, Mars will be ninth from Surya, ninth from Sun. So Mars will be in the house of Dharma of the king. Whereas Jupiter and Ketu will be in the 8th house of the king. So you will see the placement of Sun is in the sign of exaltation of Jupiter. So definitely Sun is going to give you a lot of power, a lot of strength. The solar energy is going to come, the vital force will kick in, and this will give you a lot of positive energies. This will give you the strength to fight all odds. This will give you the strength to understand the problems in life. It can come through many ways, but the understanding will definitely start to creep inside your brain and give you the ideas how to overcome the situation you are in. You need to maintain a lot of patience. You need to maintain calmness. And if you have any grave issue at hand, if you have any serious matter, if you are in a serious issue, you should talk to a professional. A professional can be a person of your field who can give you positive suggestion, a senior person, your father or an astrologer, a guru, a guide. It can be anybody, but just try to seek some answer. On top of that, Mercury's retrogression also ends just prior to Sun transit in the sign of Cancer. So Mercury's retrogression ends. This means that the discrete communication that is happening, the random communication that is happening, is now going to be direct. Now if you see, this is directly ahead of Jupiter. So till 12th of July, you see the entire Rahu-Ketu axis, the Gemini and Sagittarius axis, will see 4 retrograde planets, Rahu and Mercury on Gemini, Ketu and Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius. When Jupiter and Mercury comes along with Rahu and Ketu, you need to understand that both Mercury and Jupiter will be in their own zodiac. And when they are in their own zodiac, they have their own ways to work, they have their own ways to give you the message. And the message this time will be loud and clear. So you will get a definite response from your planets, definite response from your Kundli, and you have to see where your Gemini zodiac sign is placed. Wherever Gemini zodiac sign is placed, that particular expression or the bhav of your life will give you answers that from that area you are going to get a solution. And you also will have to work on that solution, because third house is the house of struggle, third house is the house of courage. You have to show courage and you have to show willpower to execute the task. It won't be a cakewalk. July is going to be a very serious month, and it is going to lay out the foundation of the upcoming months in a way which was different from previous. Most probably this is because in the month of August, Mars will make its transit to Aries and Sun will make its transit to Leo. So from a very emotional, watery, sacrificing, having this motherly touch of Sun and Mars, this soft masculine energy, suddenly it will become very aggressive. And then you will see in the month of August the trine of Sun, Jupiter and Mars in 159. That's something big. That is huge. When you see from Kalpurush, the entire Trikon, the Mool Trikon of Kalpurush will see their lordships placed in their zodiac. Obviously, this means something positive, something big will happen to the entire world. Something big will happen in our life. It is not going to just leave each one of us. It will touch our life. But the precursor of that event has to happen in July. So you have to be careful, and especially on the part of learning information, executing whatever you have learned, you have to be very clear what you are going to do. So in your action, you must be very much vocal, very clear, because Rahu will definitely try to, distort the information. So there are two factors of Rahu. One is distortion and one is amplification. Distortion is the negative aspect of Rahu, whereas amplification is the positive aspect of Rahu. Jupiter will definitely try to teach you how to use the amplification part of Rahu so that you amplify your message, you amplify your knowledge, and it will be presented in a way different manner. And for that, again, you have to see the Arudha of the planet Mercury in your case. And you have to see where your third pada is. That means see where the third lord is placed, count the same distance. There are exceptions. For that you can watch my Arudha Lagna video. But you must understand that on all of this scenario, there is something huge happening. There is one combination which is very different in this zodiac plane right now. After the retrogradation ends for Mercury and after 50% of July ends, Sun makes its move into the sign of Cancer. It's an annual movement. It's a basic movement for the Sun. But what's so unique about this? This time, Sun will be directly opposite to Shani, and Saturn is retrograde. You know what this means? This is where the Sun, Surya, is coming back from exile. The vital force, the willpower, the strength, the positivity is coming back from exile. Because Saturn is retrograde, the time is reversing, and the king is going closer to the sign of Leo. So this is how the reversal of the time happens, and the king re-establishes itself. But before the re-establishment, he has to take dip into the water of Cancer, and Cancer means purity, love, motherhood, friendliness, devotion, bhakti. It is exactly what not rank is. It is a house of zero competition, selfless sacrifice, and Saturn will ensure that your ego follows that. This means if you follow this principle, you are going to get back a good life. How much it will be true for you, obviously your own horoscope is going to tell that. But on a very general scale, Sun is ego. Sun is the ahamkar, the personality, the self. That self-belief has to come back. But that self-belief has to come back for the greater good. That self-belief has to come back for the divine. It cannot just come back because you want to win. This king is not winning for himself. This king is winning for the world. This king is winning for his nation. This king is winning for his people. This king is winning for a greater good. So if you are that king, your reign will be re-established. But if you fall into the trap of ahamkar, if you fall into the trap of ego, if you keep on fighting, if you keep on argumenting with yourself, that if you keep on thinking what you have lost in the past 6-8 months and not what you have gained in the past 6-8 months, Saturn is going to show you the entire picture. It's the retrograde Saturn. Saturn will take you to the flashback. Saturn will exactly tell you why your kingdom fell. Now that's a harsh reality, and every one of us has to go through that harsh reality. Only then the trine of Sun, Mars and Jupiter is going to give us excellent output. And that output is definitely not for each one of us. That output is for those people who will drop their ego in water, who will let their heat of the negativity go away, who is ready to ignite the power of selfless act, who is ready to feed the hungry, who is ready to be mother when needed, who is ready to be father when needed, who is ready to be guru when needed. So it's about the role of your soul, and this is where the struggle comes. The planets are there to help you. The planets are actually exactly formed in this way to help you. Yes, obviously this is not a great time for some huge career change, Obviously, it will depend on your horoscope. But this is mostly a time where your health may decline a bit. Now, accordingly, it will be accordingly to what your karma is. If your karma is following the path of dharma, it is following the path what Saturn has chosen for you. If it is following the right path, you won't fall sick. And obviously, your horoscope shows a lot about it. But on a generic sense, when Sun is in water sign, Mars is in water sign, the role of Moon becomes very important. And that is why the second half of July will be very different than the first half of July. So do not plan something in between. It's best that if you take a suggestion from an astrologer, if you have something to plan in between, because that transition is somewhat intense transition. That transition is very, very intense. That transition is something. These planets are trying to tell us something very different. These planets are trying to guide us out of the deep waters. But we have to quit something. We have to leave something behind. And then only the Leo Surya is going to give us what we deserve. I know I will not make a ascendant wise video for this because I don't think that's needed for July. I will make ascendant wise videos from August onwards, but for July I just wanted to convey this information that don't treat this month lightly. Your emotions will go up and down. You need to take care of your health. Financially, in most of the cases, financially it will be like a steady phase. Slowly it will grow because Jupiter is now gaining back the control of Sagittarius. Slowly it will gain. The investment will start showing the results. Market will also open up. Things are going to be slowly fine. It will become better. But your soul will face the power of Shani. Whenever you will try to see yourself, you will see Shani directly in front of you. Those who will face the harsh reality and still stand on their feet, still believes in God's power, and still believes that their soul is meant for a higher purpose, will see the truth behind all actions that has happened and will see the reality of their life. I hope you do not miss this train. That's all I wanted to say. Again, do not forget to hit like, subscribe and share, and if you like this video, do comment in the comment section, watch other videos on my channel, and do not forget to hit the bell icon because that's what keeps you and me stay connected. So more videos coming soon. Till then, thank you.